So, Devin, I think we're at that moment in the Phantom Menace. We're 40 minutes in.
Which is amazing, because how many of these have we done? But okay.
This is episode 25.
Okay, so we're 40 minutes in.
40 minutes into the Phantom Menace, so if you're following along, hopefully you are. We're at the 40-minute mark, and this scene that we're going to be talking about today is actually the very first scene shot for the Phantom Menace.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, okay. So it's the scene where Maul and Palpatine are this cloaked figure.
Yes.
They're walking out, and they have this quick, it's a very brief dialogue scene where basically, Sidious or the Phantom Menace is saying, you need to move quickly, take care of the Jedi, get Padme the Queen to sign this treaty, so on and so forth. And Maul has this line where he's like, at last we will, reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have our revenge.
Yes.
I have no idea what they're avenging. I mean, I guess if you look at Legends, like it's the Jedi beating the Sith and taking control of the galaxy. Because at one point, there's several little moments throughout the prequel trilogy. Mace Windu says it at one point. I think even Palpatine makes a reference to it, both in episode 3, I think, where it's like, you won't have control again. I think that's what Mace says. And then you have Palpatine's like, we're regaining what's ours, basically.
Right. I think even Yoda has some type of like confessional that they didn't see it coming. Yeah.
Truly, yeah. So I guess my question is, as we're kind of delving into the Phantom Menace, is, what should we see what they want to avenge in these future projects?
Interesting.
In Star Wars.
Interesting. Ooh, that's a good question. So before we go there, I want to just pause really quickly. One of the great things about this has not only been just really delving into each of these films, or the first 40 minutes of the first one anyway. But it's fun getting some of the interaction from some of the viewers and some of the listeners.
Totally.
And so we got a recent email, I believe, or
there was a
comment
right there on
the
YouTube,
from viewers in Brazil.
Oh, that's right.
So I just first off, thank you for interacting, giving us your feedback. And what's cool, and I guess maybe this was the part that was part of the DM, but they actually said, if I'm ever down there, free Brazilian. And I thought, cool.
Do you know what that is?
No, I figured it was like a local specialty, like restaurant or something. Oh dear God!
Yeah.
Is that a Shar-Pei?
So let's just let that go. I'll edit that out. Back to the Phantom Menace, Devin.
What?
Come back to the light.
Oh, at last we'll have our revenge.
Yes, we will.
We will reveal ourselves to the Jedi.
There's a little revealing going on.
There's a little too much revealing there. Yeah. All right, I'm going to pass, friends in Brazil.
Good idea.
So here's one of the things, right? They're going to reveal their stuff. We see throughout, as you alluded to, throughout the prequels, we have this, something's elusive, right?
Yeah.
And then Yoda has this confessional moment, like, I didn't see it coming, what was that?
Yeah.
And then, episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. It's coming.
Yeah.
But I think, yes, I want to see, we know that they're all about the power.
Yeah.
We know at some point something went down.
Mm-hmm.
As recently as yesterday, we're filming this at the end of May, right before Memorial Day weekend. As recently as yesterday, we have word out there that we might get a Knights of the Old Republic trilogy, perhaps.
Another thing separate from the other things that are out there.
And so I think, based on what we've seen with the sequel trilogy, as well as the prequel trilogy, we have these little nuances, these little windows of insight into the other movies, and I think that the story group's doing an incredible job, and we can throw Rebels and Resistance in there too, of really kind of grabbing parts of other storylines and giving us a more full picture. So I would say yes, we're going to see that at some point.
I think you have to.
Right.
It would fit into the whole story of Star Wars a lot better if we know what it is these Sith are really upset about and are wanting to avenge. And I mean, it's just good that we would have that. One of the problems that, I don't know if it's a problem, but one of the issues that we've seen with the current stories being told in Star Wars
Yes.
is almost this tightrope walk where we can't talk about Luke Skywalker during this time period because we have this film coming out or this aspect of the story, so we can't touch that. We can't do this thing, we can't explore this character because of this other project coming. So there's this constant weaving this story together, and I actually have found it somewhat problematic for me as a fan. I don't know if any of the people watching feel the same way, but it just feels like they can't give us everything at once. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because there's this other thing going on. The reason why I say that is I think if you get this new trilogy, whatever it is, these new films, they're not going to have to worry about that unless it's for the films themselves down the road. They're not going to have to play this balancing act, and they're going to be able to give us the types of stories that we want, which I really feel like it's like these Force-centric Sith, Jedi stories that we haven't really got a lot of since Disney acquired Star Wars. So I'm hopeful that, yes, we'll explore what they're going to avenge in these films, but also I think we're going to be able to get everything, a full story without having to worry about, I'm going to mess this thing up or that thing over there up. So
do you feel within this same context of this potential Knights of the Old Republic film trilogy, whatever it is, do you think we'll get some early nuances and nods to this prophecy that we finally explore so much later?
Yeah, the Master and Apprentice novel, Qui-Gon's dealing with this idea of prophecy. So it's playing in the books a little bit. I would think you would have to. At least have somewhat of a mention or an awareness on the part of the characters of this prophecy of the One. We're going to have a video on Prequels And A Pint in the next several episodes where we're going to talk a little bit about this idea of the One, the chosen one, this prophetic person, character that's going to come along, and how that might play out in earlier or new films taking place a longer time ago. So I'm really curious, what we'll see. I think you have to, just for the sake of the continuity of this huge story.
The mythology of Star Wars is built around that. So, yes.
Yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, should we see the Chosen One show up, or these ideas of this prophetic character coming along in future episodes of Star Wars, or future trilogies or movies and books and novels? So let us know what you think in the comments below.